Hey everybody, welcome to another Lonesome where I'm streaming some Hearthstone, my new favorite addiction. It's got all the elements of addiction in it. It's got those pleasure sensor initiating graphics and sounds, and it's a collectible card game, so of course it's gonna induce addiction. I think one of the biggest things I bet you that affects people too is the whole sort of like atmosphere that it has because of the music and the feeling, because the Hearthstone game isn't supposed to be a representation, like Magic is supposed to be a representation of an actual battle between two planeswalkers happening, but they make no bones about it in this, right? This is supposed to be characters within the Warcraft world interacting with each other with a card game. So you're in a tavern in World of Warcraft fighting each other in a card game. It's an enchanted card game, says K-Shade. Apparently my PlayStation 4 is still streaming as Tank Girl. Here, just let me turn off my PlayStation 4. All right, I guess the Tank Girl stream is now completed. I guess you guys could hear everything we said while Becky and I, like, between. What did we say? Nothing bad, I hope. Anyways, what did we say? I think we mainly just talked about how much we hated the game more. I didn't expect it to be that bad. Okay. All right. I guess, the other thing I need to tell you guys. I did play the game on my own in bed last night when I couldn't, oh yeah, the Rob Ford stuff. I played the game on my own last night when I couldn't sleep in bed. I did like 3 drafts, and I played as the mage 3 times in a row. And I'm glad I played the game on my own for a little bit, because it allowed me to have an inner monologue about the cards as opposed to just online, like talking it out here. And it let me think about the game in a little bit different way. I don't know if it wasn't exactly better or worse, it was just a very different mindset. I didn't do very well, because I think that on the show, I think I'm afraid to experiment too much, because I don't want it to be a boring or wasted show, so I'm being very serious about making a really good deck, whereas I made some really crappy decks on my own because I just wanted to, like, for instance, I like played the mage and I committed like 100% to spells, kind of, almost. I like got a bunch of mana worms, and I got a whole bunch of the arcane blasts and stuff, and pretty much committed like 100%. If I saw a spell, I almost didn't consider the other cards. Like, I did a run like that. I'm sorry if you guys would have liked to have seen that, but all right, here I go. Oh, I'll open my packs that I won.
Rare.
2 rares. Done.
Rare.
Done. Two epics in one pack? How often does that happen? Bane of Doom. Deal 2 damage to a character. If that kills it, summon a random demon. And a rogue rare, epic. Return a minion to its owner's hand. Oh, that's sweet. Here I go. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. I think I'm gonna go, what do you guys want to see? Druid or Warrior? I haven't played Druid yet. I hated playing as Priest. I'm gonna try Druid.
I must protect the wild.
Twilight Drake is awesome. Okay, so remember the last game when that Twilight Drake came out and I was confused because he had 5 health instead of 4 health. The reason I was confused is because I'm pretty sure there was another dragon on the table that was 4/4 that has similar purplish blue art. And you guys kept saying it's because he has 5 cards in his hand. So I was thinking to myself, that means that he should have 9 health. And I was so confused. I didn't realize it was a completely different dragon than the one that I'd already seen. That'd be Azure Drake. So that's what was confusing me. But of course, people in the shadow chat decided to call me a fucking moron anyways. At the start of your turn, swap this minion for a random one. I don't like random effects, even though this game has lots of them. Gain 2 mana crystals, or draw 3 cards. Wait, what? How is this good? Because you have to spend 5 mana to gain. Oh, it permanently gains 2 mana crystals. So it's turn 5 mana acceleration? Fuck that. Nah. 5 mana to get 3 cards is not bad though. So it costs 3 because they're, yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying. What do you guys think of that then? Because that's like a turn 5 drop that allows for another 2 drop within the same turn. And it makes it so that your 6th turn has 8 mana. If I took this, I would have to really focus on, or like I would want to think about high drops in my deck. At very worst case scenario, it's 3 cards in your hand. It's not great in Arena. It's conditional, isn't it? And this is an early pick. Maybe if I had already like drafted a lot of really high drops at this point, maybe then I would be more likely to consider it. But since it's conditional and this is an early pick, let's go with the sure thing, which is the Drake. I really do like doing that 2 damage, but I also like the Taunter. I think I'm more likely to want the Lord of the Arena. Taunt to me is just way more valuable than the 2 damage. Even though the Druid is probably gonna lack direct damage, a taunt just seems to be like the king in this game. It's so annoying when when a player has taunt on the board. Battle Cry, deal 1 damage. Murloc or this guy. The Elven Archer. Druid has lots of great direct damage options? Okay. This is tough, because this is a nice early drop, and it's also a nice pinger just when you need that extra little bit of damage, but the body sucks. Oh, the body's not that bad, actually, but the 1/1 isn't that great. I'm going to go with the raid leader. Assuming that the druid is going to be, and I think he is the type of character that brings out a lot of little guys. Starfall. Choose one. Deal 5 damage to a minion, or do 2 damage to all enemy minions. That is beautiful versatility. I love it. Deal damage equal to your hero's attack to a minion. So that's conditional upon me getting weapons and drawing into weapons. Having so many weapons that this would just be an empty card if I don't have enough weapons to guarantee having one. So, oh, except I can guarantee at least 1 attack on my hero at any given time, but Battlecry, give adjacent minions spell damage +1. I think I'm gonna go with Starfall. Innervate. Gain 2 mana crystals for this turn only, and it's a 0. That's a beautiful opening hand card. This guy is nice because he's like a free card and a free 2/1 body on the board because you get a card back. He's got a rebate effect. But mana acceleration for a druid seems like a good idea. Yeah. Especially if I start my turn with an Innervate in my hand and the coin, that means that on my first turn I'm dropping down a 5-drop, no, a 4-drop on my first turn, if I get that lucky. Choose one, charge or +2 health and taunt. I like that card. I also like the stealth. But I think this guy is probably way more valuable. Way more valuable, in fact. Yeah, I'm going with him. Swipe. Deal 4 damage. Wow. Okay, so on one hand, I love the versatility that the druid's cards seem to have. They all have choices. But I am very nervous about, as a novice player, going in with a handful of cards where not only do I have to read and know what each card does, but I have multiple options for a lot of these cards. I'm just gonna be so overwhelmed, just like I was when I played Paladin. So I'm in before people calling me stupid because I am running out of time on my turns because I can't get my head around the battle. 4 damage to an enemy and 1 damage to all other enemies. And I know these two guys very well. And I'm a big fan of direct damage. And, oh god, that's pretty amazing, in fact. Fuck yeah. I thought it was 1 damage to all creatures, but it's to all enemies, specifically. I like the Juggler. And I don't have many spells, making him an undervalued body on the ground. I also like the Taunter, though. The Sun Fury Protector is a nice board staller, but this guy's nice for throwing out lots of damage, especially since I'm probably going to be in a creature-heavy deck, since I'm a druid. He's got a 3/2 body instead of... However, Taunt can protect other bodies when I want certain creatures to be protected. I do have a lot of spells at this point, don't I? Swipe is there, Innervate is there, that counts as a spell. Starfall. I've got 3 spells so far. Knife Juggler's basically a taunt because people want to get rid of him so fast. Is that what you mean, Cogs? People want him gone ASAP. That's true. However, if they don't need him gone, like if they need to swing in for lethal, he's not going to save me. I'm not really thinking too seriously about the Auctioneer. It's between these two. someone help me with it? Or, like, what do you guys think on this? Shit. I'm going with Taunt. I like the ability to, like, I'm probably going to draft a bunch of other creatures that I want to protect on the board. That's the other thing I love about Taunt, is it guarantees that this special creature you just played is going to be protected by these other taunting creatures, so that you're guaranteed to keep this guy alive for a while, like when I'm trying to think of special creatures. Well, in the instance of the Knife Juggler, if you wanted the Knife Juggler to stay alive for a while, Taunters are going to keep him alive. I'd like to have those two cards together, in other words. I don't like the 0/4 Taunt, though. He's too easy to get rid of, and he doesn't do any collateral or residual damage to the creatures that got rid of him. How many creatures have Battle Cry? I'm gonna go with this, I think. He's got Taunt, but he's got bouncing abilities, which I like. And he's a 2-drop for 3/2, where his downside isn't always a downside. And it's only a downside if you have a... Guys, when I put this out, and there isn't a friendly creature to return to my hand, am I allowed to play him at all? It just doesn't bounce anything, so I'm gonna go with the Brewmaster. Give adjacent minions plus spell damage on a 2/5 body, or the Violet. I'm gonna go with the Violet Teacher, I think, on this one. The spells that I do have don't really do direct damage. Your hero gets +2 attack this turn and +2 armor for Claw. So that's like a removal spell, kind of. Give a minion +2/+2, Taunt, and Taunt, Mark of the Wild. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the buff. It's more permanent than the claw. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the buff. I haven't... Yeah. See, buffs, I value them less in Hearthstone than I did in Magic. Like, a giant growth in Magic is awesome because, you know, it's an instant, so it can be used almost as a removal spell to trick somebody. But since you can't play things as a surprise in this game, that just looks like a card that's gonna 2-for-1 me, because he's just gonna deal with it like the next turn or something, that creature. Deal damage equal to your hero's attack to a minion. I'd rather have the Imp Master, I think. Nightblade, a 4/4 body, but I'm curving a little bit high at this point. I like guys that are like this, that are sticky and hard to get rid of. But... Nah, I'm gonna go with that. Still don't have a weapon, and I don't even know if druids can get weapons. So I'm gonna go with the War Golem and try to hope that druid... Does the druid have a lot of cards that accelerate his mana? None. No weapons. And does he have a lot of cards that accelerate his mana? Like, is it a good idea for me to start picking up fatties? That's his thing. Then I'm gonna go start bringing in fatties. Your character has +2 attack this turn. Your characters, all my characters, meaning all my minions and myself, or an 8/8 taunt. Savage Roar is a game ender. If I can keep lots of bodies, he is a fatty, but that's a game ender. That's like, yeah, I'm going with... This is like what we call what's the name of the card? Overrun. This is like Overrun in Magic, where you just end the game in one fell swoop to end everything. It's the kind of top deck that just can save you. I'm just making a case for it because everybody seems to be like, they're both pretty good, so like I wouldn't be crazy. Is it up to me, kind of? The thing is, I only need 4 guys on the ground for him to do as much damage as this guy's worth late game. And late game, realistically, this guy's not gonna... Oh, he's taunt, though. He's taunt. Alright, I wasn't even reading that. That edges him out over the Savage Roar for me. Choose one, deal 3 damage to a minion, or 1 damage and draw a card. I like that. I also like this, but I'm grabbing that. Deal 1 damage for 0 mana, or Mark of Nature. Choose one, give a minion +4 attack, or +4 health and taunt. That was an easy choice for me there. Druid of the Claw, another druid. I do like the tiger, but I would like to grab another Brewmaster to synergize with those Druids of the Claw. Battlecry, swap the attack and health of a minion. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. I like that guy. But this guy I've gone up against before, and he is fucking annoying to deal with. A 7/5 stealth that basically is just sitting there ready to smack you in the face when he's ready. Argent Commander could be easily considered to be a removal spell, isn't he? He's like, you could read that card like, you could read this card differently. Instead of Charge and Divine Shield, you could just erase that text and say, Battle Cry, deal 4 damage to target to a minion, and then you get like a free 4/2 body with a 4 damage spell. I think I'm gonna go with the Assassin, and I'm gonna hope that I'm gonna start getting into this mana acceleration that I've heard about with this druid. Give your minions +1/+1, or summon a 3/2 Panther. I'd say that. Give your minions Death Rattle, summon a 2/2. That's kind of fun, but the Yeti's also awesome. And I have tons of spells, but I feel like I'm lacking on creatures. But that's permanent, isn't it? That lasts forever. Once it's out. Is it a toss-up or am I crazy? Should I just be taking the Yeti? Yeah, I'm lacking in creatures. Maybe if I had like a shit ton of creatures at this point, but I have a lot of spells that help creatures and I haven't been drafting enough creatures. Ah, shit. Naturalize, destroy a minion, your opponent draws 2 cards. Oh, fuck. Shit, I wanted another Brewmaster to synergize with my claws, but I think Naturalize is the clear choice here. Being able to just destroy something outright without even having to worry about like its damage or like, why isn't it that great? It just destroys a creature regardless of how much damage. It could take down a guy with 5 health. It could take down a guy with 10 health. It's his only perfect removal, yeah. I need options. And that's one of my, like, that's one of the cards that if I drew it in my early game, I would keep it around for a long time. For like when I absolutely need it in an emergency. And it's the type of card that you draw as a top deck later on in the game that like just can completely save you. Deal 2 damage or silence a minion. Or deal damage equal to your hero's attack, or charge in battle cry, give your opponent a mana crystal. Oh, that's easy. Starfire, deal 5 damage, draw a card. That's a free 5 damage, but you give up your 6th turn. I'm doing it. Another Druid of the Claw. I think I'm gonna go for that. I like those guys. I feel like they're gonna be very useful to me. I need one of these. And I'm curving high, and I need the versatility of being able to get rid of a weapon. And he's a decent drop as well. That's a nice card. Silencing minions is nice. Gets rid of taunting minions. But this card would probably also get rid of most taunting minions, and you get a free card to boot. So the question is, like for the most part, 5 damage is going to get rid of most creatures. Early game, at least. So would I rather draw into more cards? Yeah, I'm going to go for another Starfire. Having 2 in the deck makes it more reliable that I'll draw into it or top deck it. I like being able to rely on things like that, knowing that I have like, oh sweet, and now we got a nice silent bird. Wild Pyromancer. After you cast a spell, deal 1 damage to all minions, or the first minion you play. Oh, this seems like the mana acceleration I never ended up getting but needed from her. I curve high, she's going to be valuable for me. Although, this would do a lot of collateral damage. Can you guys make cases for or against Pint-Sized Summoner is what I'm really thinking of right now. I don't know, all 3 of these are viable choices for this deck. Yeah, Summoner usually gets murdered, that's true. And it doesn't take much to take her down, does it? Whereas this guy is a late game, a nice body late game, and is going to get me back into some cards. Remember guys, the pint-sized minion could easily be protected because I've drafted quite a few early drop taunting creatures, including, where is it? Didn't I got that, and then I got 2 of those protectors. Oh, I only got 1 Sun Fury protector. That's true, taunt doesn't help against spells, but if somebody wants to spend a spell getting rid of a 2/2 body. So what, you guys think this one then? Summoner, I need early cards too. This decision by council. Yeah, I'm gonna get this, whatever. It was my first instinct, and I like that she at least distracts the opponent. I'll be right back with a match with my new druid deck, my first druid deck.